Today I want to talk about something that I kind of touched on in my last video, and it's about the universe helping you out when you commit towards a goal. And I want to go over how I believe that works and kind of how I've seen that play out in my own life. But basically, if you go 100% commit your body, your mind, your spirit to any goal that you believe in, and when you do that, the universe has a way of kind of helping you out. And when I say universe, it can be whatever you believe. I'm not trying to sound super, esoteric or project some kind of belief system. This is just how I have experienced things. And if it doesn't, you might have your own beliefs on things. This is just my experience. So it's not absolute truth. And I'm not trying to project it as that. It's just what I've noticed. And basically, when I commit to things, like all the way commit, like you can say, hey, I want to do this, and you can commit the mind. But if you don't commit the body and your spirit, like you don't have, you don't wake up at 4 or whatever. You don't have to wake up at a certain time, but you don't dedicate, like if you're trying to get in shape, you don't go to the gym on a daily basis, or whatever your goal is. If you don't take those steps, then you're not going to get the full benefit of kind of the universe having your back on that. So let's just go. I mentioned the mind, body, and spirit. So I say the mind is basically just thinking of this thing, and whatever it is, it can be making money. Don't put any moral implications on whatever it is, because everybody has their own judgments on things. But I don't think making money is necessarily bad, or wanting money, especially if you want it for the right reasons. But let's just say money for an example, because a lot of people have that, or would desire more of that. So say you want money. You can think about it all day long. I believe that's one piece of the puzzle. So that's committing your mind, right? I really want money. How am I going to get that money? What can I do? And when you do that, you start seeing these opportunities. Your brain is really good at picking up on patterns and things that help you achieve your goal. So if money's on your mind all the time, you're going to see more opportunities than someone that, I don't really need money. I'm happy where I'm at, which is perfectly okay. And in fact, that there's some value in that as well. Okay, so that's committing your mind. Is you it's just it's in your thoughts all the time. Now body is going to be a little bit different. So now you're taking the steps, the physical steps needed to achieve this goal or this idea. So if we're still talking about money, that would be, hey, let me see how I can schedule a meeting with an advisor. Look up for group meetings about financial. And you don't have to spend money. I know that it's popular nowadays to buy these $1,000, $2,000 courses that people sell you. That's another commitment. And if you believe that person's operating or offering good advice, then go for it. But what I'm really talking about is just starting the journey. What I talked about last, sorry, I'm getting a call. What I talked about last time was, just taking that bow into the dojo in a martial arts theme, just showing up to your first class and going for it. And that's all I mean by this, is just getting started, taking that first step, whatever it is for you, whatever, if you're committing your mind, there's going to be opportunities you see. Your body is seeing those opportunities and going for it, whatever that is. What speaks to you? And that's another part of the formula that I want to get into, what speaks of you, and that speaks more to the spirit aspect. So I talked about mind, body, and spirit. So spirit is going to be intuition. So when you find these opportunities and you're like, okay, I'm going to go for it, and you kind of cut off the whatever's holding you back. For me, it was excuses. I was like, man, I need to learn more about video recording or what people are going to like, because I wanted to start a YouTube channel. What was holding me back was just over analyzing the details. So when you implement spirit into the formula, what happens is you see these opportunities and you go for it. Okay, so what opportunities seem, man, without sounding too esoteric or woo or mystical, there's going to be certain things that seem to draw you in more, that the universe presents to you. Excuse me. The universe presents to you and says, hey, here's an opportunity. Something speaks to you more, even if everybody else is doing this one thing, even if everybody else is spending thousands of dollars for these courses. Hey, I feel like I should go to the library today and see what books are on financial help or advice, or let me look on these group meetings, however people meet now, Craigslist or whatever, and see what groups are getting together to discuss financial things. Going towards what you're feeling is the universe drawing you in to kind of the path you need to be going. So that's the spiritual aspect. You're going with your intuition on things, and there's no rhyme or reason. You see these patterns in your life because you're thinking about it and you're committing to acting on it. And now the intuition, what draws you in more, that's what you need to act on. So when you implement, or when you start taking all three of these aspects on following through on your goals or what you want to do, or if you want to make money, you're getting the full experience of the universe helping you out achieve those goals. And like I said earlier, the universe rewards bravery. So even if you have the craziest, like, I want to be a millionaire by next year, I'm not saying you're going to be a millionaire, but I think if you truly believe it's possible and you're taking the steps to get there, then you're going to have a big leg up and a big helping hand compared to people that just think about it all the time, or people that only take action, but it's like random action. Everybody else is doing this. Everybody says I need to, get a huge following on Instagram, so that's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to follow these strategies that everybody uses. If you do what everybody else is doing, then you're going to get average results, because that's the average thing to do. But if you take those steps and you're like, okay, this is drawing me in more, it doesn't make sense necessarily, but it's going to work out. And if you take that attitude, more often than not, what I've found in my own life is that it does work out for the best. You learn, you grow, and you really are taking steps into achieving that final goal. I hope this makes sense, and I hope I relayed this information. I know as soon as I click stop, there's going to be more things that I want to say, so if you have any comments or questions, I would love to expand on this in certain areas, and I will probably talk more about this in the future, so just be on the lookout for that. If you enjoy this kind of stuff about goal setting, and some people call it manifesting, I avoid these kind of catchwords because I think they have a certain weight behind them, and people, even me, because I think I'm kind of a cynic at times, and I overanalyze things, especially details. So when I hear the word manifesting, I'm like, there's an image that comes up, right? And I don't think that's necessarily I think that can block you from achieving the results. And I think there is a real power that's out there that draws you in when you commit to things. And if you call that manifesting, and if that works for you, go for it. I'm on the fence about certain words. I think words have a power, and if you have a certain connotation to these words, then they might not be as effective. So that's why I like to say, okay, things draw you in, the universe helping you out, and to some people, the universe's power might have that kind of negative connotation. To me, it doesn't. I think everybody's connected on a deeper level than we can understand, and people have different ways of thinking of things. So if these words don't work for you, replace it with what does. I hope you're getting the deeper message, and that's kind of the point. Don't get caught up on these words that I'm using, but more so the deeper message, and I hope it helps out tremendously, because when I've implemented these things, I'm not saying it's going to be easy. If something's on your mind all the time and you're taking action on your intuitions, you're going to be busy, because you're going to have opportunities that pop up. And so I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but when you take action on these things, it's incredibly fulfilling. You feel like you're on the right path, because you are on your path, wherever that leads you. And to me, I like to use the word universe, because I think there's a correct path that opens up for us, and we can guide that path based on those three things I talked about: mind, body, and spirit. I hope that helped you on your own journey. I think it's helped me on my journey so far, and I love you guys. And if you have any questions, let me know. I hope this was clear and I conveyed my message in a way that was meaningful to you. So thank you. Bye.